Hi, Assalamualaikum. Let me introduce myself. My name is Norfardilawati Musa. I am the Program Director for Master of Corporate Communications. So we meet again in the new episode of this Coffee Talk entitled Communication and Social Media, Walking the Tightrope of Right and Wrong. So for this special topic, we have invite a very special speaker. Today we are joined by expert in communication and law. So the panel will help us to understand better about the communication and law. So let me introduce you to our panel speaker, Puan Suhaida Ahmad. Thank you very much, Puan Suhaida.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. So Puan Suhaida is one of the legal advisors in Media Prima, the esteemed media company, namely Media Prima Berhad. So thank you very much for coming again. All right. So before we go to this topic further, let me just give a brief description about this topic. So in an era defined by digital interaction, so it's very crucial for us, especially the public, to comprehend the legal frameworks that governs communication on social media platforms, because today we are trying to dig into on a critical topic on how the social media practitioners or media practitioners should behave when they're involved in this kind of media platform. So, because previously, if you look at the perundangan yang sedia ada dalam komunikasi, mostly targeted kepada professional practitioners like the journalists, etc. But nowadays, because of the technology, internet, everybody can be the journalist citizens. Alright, so semua orang nak upload everything, nak share something, and even sometimes the professional media practitioners ni dia sendiri quote daripada netizen punya status, etc. So with that in mind, I would like to invite Puan Suhaida to share with us what are some of the legal risks that media practitioners face in this rapidly evolving digital era. Of course, specifically in Malaysian context lah. Okay. Please, Puan Suhaida.
Thank you, Dr. Dila, and thank you, first of all, to OUM for inviting me over to share my thoughts and views and the experience I have gone through with the media company. So, okay, when we speak about digital, semua orang tahu nak cepat. It's all about being the first to upload, being the first to run the story on social medias. Okay, so when we talk about digital, kita dah mula lupa traditional platform, media platform, iaitu seperti surat khabar, seperti television, seperti radio, yes. the traditional where mana mak ayah kita dulu get their news from, yeah. So sekarang ni with the social medias, with the websites, news online portals, kita dah ada banyak channel untuk dapatkan news kan. So what are the legal risks? Okay, so coming from a media company, we always encourage our reporters sebelum mengeluarkan sesuatu laporan, to do your homework checklist. There's a checklist. Okay, so number 1, is your facts accurate? Fakta anda tepat. Okay, number 2, did you get verification? Kalau you cakap pasal Mr. ABC, did you check with Mr. ABC? Betul ke kenyataan ni dibuat pasal Mr. ABC? That is verification. And the third one, is it newsworthy? Berbaloikah kita menyiarkan that news? Yeah. So, but because now it's digital, semua nak cepat. People will, kita akan tanya, sempat ke nak buat tu? Did you verify? Fact check tak? So these are the legal risk. Sebab if we don't do all that, saman lah ataupun dapat surat lawyer lah kan. So that is the first risk. Bila laporan tak tepat, situlah risikonya. That's the risk that we go through.
Means the reporter kena study betul-betul before they publish.
Yes. I know because when we have reporters doing laporan mahkamah,
Aha.
cerita mahkamah kan,
Cerita mahkamah.
disabitkan dengan kesalahan ataupun keputusan bersalah atau tidak kan, type terus zas naik ke social media to online web portal. But especially bila satu kes mahkamah tu baru di stage disabitkan dengan kesalahan, belum dijatuhkan hukum ya.
Okay.
You must know the background of the story.
Okay.
So you need to know betul ke benda tu berlaku. So these are the facts check that bila nak cepat sangat you tak sempat nak buat semua tu. So bila you tak sempat nak buat semua tu, risiko tu mengundang risiko ya. Where we invite ni.
Saya nak tambah kat situ,
Yeah.
Puan Su. When you said semuanya nak cepat, because the reporter nowadays they are competing with the
Betul.
netizen. So
That's right.
netizen lagi cepat, lagi pantas. Kadang-kadang for example like election punya case, okay? Kita nak tunggu result tu daripada conventional media like TV3, like Berita Harian punya newspaper, update dalam news portal diorang. It will take some time. Suddenly journalist, netizen ni dah put up
Dah story dia orang.
everything.
Yeah,
So I think
betul.
one of the challenges for
Yes.
the reporter, the professional journalist in this
Betul.
kind of thing.
Correct. Saya sangat setuju sebab dia macam it's a competition, a race.
Okay.
Semua nak cepat dulu, semua nak jadi the first one to upkan story dia. So these are the legal risks that we all media practitioners will go through. Okay, itu satu. And the other one is walaupun as media practitioner buat the fact check, verification, check is it newsworthy. Kalau orang nak saman tu, dia tetap akan saman.
They still can find the loophole lah.
Yes, dia orang akan cari saja. Whatever, mana yang ada point je, they will still sue us. Still sue the media practitioners. So macam, it doesn't matter how good your news report, how accurate. Accurate tu baguslah.
Okay.
So inaccurate tu lagilah risiko
Lebih besar
lebih tinggi. Betul.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for the explanation, Puan Su. So now we move to the second questions. I believe approximately kita ada sekurang-kurangnya paling kurang pun 10 akta atau law yang affect our media practitioners directly or indirectly. For among those yang affect our media practitioners directly, some like macam CMA, Communication and Multimedia Act, kita ada Printing, Press and Publication Act, kita ada Seditious Act, kita ada OSA, Official Secret Acts and Defamation Acts. And I believe Defamation Acts ni sangat close. Orang kata sangat macam isi dengan kuku antara law dengan media practitioners, especially the journalists. After all, kita dah ada media platform. And kalau dulu dia fokus ke professional journalists, but nowadays it also affect us as a public, as a social media owners, social media platform owners. Okay, so dekat sini ada dua soalan saya nak tanya dengan Puan Su. First, what is actually defamation law is all about? Untuk lebih memudahkan pemahaman, especially the layman, untuk faham apa sebenarnya akta fitnah ni sebenarnya. And how does it differ from other civil wrongdoings? Second question is, what is the difference between libel and another one is slander under this defamation law?
Okay. So in defamation law, there are two types of law. There's a civil law and criminal law. Dua-dua lebih kurang sama, tapi civil kita banyak menumpukan kepada civil law ya. Under defamation law, it is where I just read, this is the term, what it means ya. Lowers the reputation of a person in the eyes of right thinking members of society in general. So ini bermaksud jika kita membuat satu laporan dan laporan tu menyatakan Mr. atau Miss ABC dari segi adalah negatif ya, memberi penggambaran yang tidak elok ya. And then bila orang yang kalau dalam newspaper orang membaca atau kalau keluar dalam TV orang melihat oh sebenarnya Miss ABC ni adalah seorang yang tidak baik ya. So itulah defamationnya. Okay. So defamation dia ada dalam bentuk libel, libel dan slander. So libel is that is documented. Sama ada dalam akhbar ataupun dalam majalah, dalam buku ataupun di dalam television atau radio.
And now the context could be in social media.
Yes. So it is yang boleh direkod dan disimpan. Dulu keluar berita dah tak ada, tapi sekarang berita dah keluar dalam macam-macam platform. So that falls under libel lah. The other type is slander. Slander ialah secara lisan. Secara lisan sebagai contoh, kejadian berlaku kejadian memfitnah berlaku di dalam sebuah mesyuarat, di dalam satu mesyuarat ya.
Dalam mesyuarat pun boleh guna.
Kalau mesyuarat gaduh-gaduh, and then suddenly you bodoh atau all these negative words used and then lowers the reputation of orang tu. And then the other test is ada orang lain yang mendengar. So dia kalau A cakap dengan B tanpa ada C, D, E, F, itu tidak under for libel lah. So kalau dalam mesyuarat mesti ramai. So A cakap pada B, B gaduh dengan A dan terdapat orang ramai di situ. Ada saksi. So saksi ni lah yang akan cakap, oh sebenarnya A ni orangnya tak elok. So that is libel. Itulah jenis dia. So then another one is perbezaan antara civil defamation dan criminal defamation. The test is the same, iaitu lowers the reputation, tapi in terms of the jatuh hukum tu. Jatuh hukum tu civil will be on monetary ataupun anything that seperti clarification atau apology, dan manakala for criminal is disabitkan dengan kesalahan. Jika disabitkan dengan kesalahan akan kena penjara. That is the difference.
Difference between civil and criminal defamation.
Betul.
So faham. Alright, so thanks for the explanation, Puan Zub. In any field, dalam mana-mana bidang, tak kisahlah bidang pengurusan, bidang psikologi, komunikasi pun ada dia punya ethical principle. Ethical principle ni guide as a compass to the media practitioners bila dia to ensure dia punya integrity and dia punya reliability of the content. So maybe Puan Su can share with us what are the ethical principle that guide media practitioners in their communication practice.
Yes, this is very important. We always educate our journalists. Ni jurnalis yang betul-betul jurnalis lah, bukan
lah.
Netizen sockmats ya. We always educate our journalists to write the content tu must be of public interest ya. Public interest yang I would call it as ada news value lah ya. Public interest di mana pembaca, rakyat perlu tahu what is ongoing and things like that. That's number one. The objectivity. Apa sebenarnya matlamat kita, objek kita untuk siarkan laporan tersebut lah. Kalau nak untuk menjatuhkan maruah seseorang tu, memang that's not the unethical lah, kita panggil ya. And then balance reporting. Balance reporting is very important. We always advise our journalists to make sure when you write a report, you get both sides of the story. Coin, there's two sides, you have to cover both sides of the ni. So that's why I say this is important, because it goes far. Sebab kalau kita kena saman, disabitkan kesalahan, we can go to court and say, but kita cuba dapatkan verification from the other side. So dia balance di situ ya. So and of course I believe this one the last one is the source of your news. So masing-masing ada cara especially journalist yang terlibat dalam cover story criminals and things like that. So how do you manage, how you handle your source? Itu adalah a few things that we always educate, we encourage journalists to ikutlah garis panduan ni.
Okay, alright. Okay, that's everything must be objective lah. In simple way, we can say because the thing that everything is written and everything is spoken to akan affect the society, affect individual life. So you have to do some research. You have to collect all the evidence.
The do's and don'ts. Dia ada checklist lah. Checklist bila kita nak buat laporan tu, kita check ini dah buat belum? Okay, dah. Okay, selamat for publication.
Puan Su, ni macam lari sikit nak tanya. In your case, among the Media Prima punya journalist, siapa yang akan check all the checklist tu, sama ada that journalist dah meet all the checklist or not?
Betul. Okay, so we conduct a lot of seminars for our journalists. So from journalists sampai ke editors, executive editors, news editors, sub editors, dia banyak berperingkat ya. So dia sebenarnya semua kena buat tu.
Alright.
Journalist akan tulis and then they will pass it to their bosses, OC. Kemudian kalau journalist tak buat, OC, the editor, the subs atau the editors kena check. You dah call belum orang ni? Betul ke dia ni? Atau and then betul ke, accurate ke these numbers? Atau betul ke all the fact check. So it actually semua kena buat tu. Sebab jika journalist terlepas pandang untuk tick the checklist tu, sub editors, news editors kena pick up benda tu. So sebab tu I do feel that it's very challenging, sebab while we try to get the scoop untuk keluarkan news paling cepat, nombor 1 dalam nak compete kan, tapi the challenges would be ni lah nak kena buat fact check betul. Sebab kalau kita tak buat semua ni, kita
cerita di hujungnya lah, risikonya takut diselamat
di hujung tu lah nanti. So that's why kita ada banyak layers. We have a few layers. So tanggungjawab tu semua kena ada. Sebab kalau yang A terlepas pandang, B akan pick up, B akan remind. So B terlepas pandang, C kena pick up sebelum it goes out.
Ada banyak layers lah.
Banyak layers.
Time consuming jugalah.
Yes. So that's why sangat challenging lah bagi saya for digital news ni. Very challenging.
Alright. Okay, thanks Dr. Puan Suhaida. So now we move to the fourth question. So kita tengok macam defamation law ni, dia sebenarnya macam melimitkan kebebasan. Kononnya we have freedom of speech, but I believe we don't really have absolute freedom of speech in any countries. Alright, so because I just nak share dengan audience and Puan Su, I have read this one article saying that bahasa Melayu artikel katanya pengguna media sosial berisiko berdepan tindakan undang-undang jika melakukan tangkap layar status pihak lain dengan tujuan memberi malu kepada pemiliknya. So we don't know the intention of the public, alright? So menjadi kesalahan sekiranya ada unsur fitnah dalam tangkap layar kemudian disebarkan semula dan tular. So jika sesuatu tangkap layar itu sudah diubah, disunting, ditambah atau dipesongkan menjadi bahan mengaibkan, pelakunya boleh dibawa ke muka pengadilan.
Betul.
So basically kita tak nampak banyak sangat where's our freedom of speech kat sini. So everything that we do ada dia punya consequence je.
Betul.
So macam yang sebelum kita mula tadi, saya ada bersembang-sembang dengan Puan Su, even owner of the platform like macam Media Prima have dia punya own website. So anything that we share, anything that Media Prima journalists share, update status in the social media platform, kalau komen tu dari netizen something yang berbentuk negatif, yang memalukan, komen tu boleh digunakan untuk menyaman media Prima. Alright, okay, so that's why ada some otai-otai punya jurnalis dia akan gunakan disclaimer untuk mengelakkan dari disaman. So saya nak tanya dengan Puan Su, actually how does Malaysian defamation law ni balance the right of freedom and expression with the protection of individual reputations?
Okay. So basically kita ada Federal Constitution ya, Persekutuan Perlembagaan artikel 10 ya, memberi kebebasan untuk mengekspres ataupun as they say freedom of speech and expression. So okay, untuk balancekan di situ dan dalam melaksanakan tugas as a media practitioner, saya selalu I am advocate of yes, you have that, but buatlah secara berpada-pada. Ya, you make sure that you have your facts right, your benda tu betul lah. Ya, you can express whatever you want, but ensure that it is true, it is accurate and in a moderate way lah. Boleh, tapi ada batasan dia and kena balance lah.
Yeah. So kita nampak benda ni banyak berlaku among the politicians, walaupun tapi ada juga banyak juga yang happen among the public. Okay, contohnya macam kes Vivi Yusof bila dia saman defendant 28 years old female sebab memfitnah dia sehingga mengumpulkan petitions untuk menggugurkan Vivi waktu tu daripada Board of Director for UiTM. So itu pun ada antara netizen yang disaman oleh organisasi ataupun individu atau personality termuka. So as a public, we have to be careful. Macam yang Puan Suhaida cakap, make sure you punya fact tu betul. Okay, walaupun dah betul pun simpan, cover dengan all the evidence supaya bila kena saman, we have all the evidence. Okay, thanks. Maybe Puan Su boleh share dengan saya dan audience apa contoh ataupun example of high profile defamation cases in Malaysia yang Puan Su pernah handle or involve.
Okay, so being in media industry kita tidak boleh lari daripada risiko-risiko kena saman ya. So tidak dinafikan media Prima ada the group we have a few suits involve politicians, businessmen, dengan sportsmen, we have all that. So again, we always advise our reporters, our journalists to make sure especially jika melibatkan high profile individuals to make sure you have your evidence, your documents, your notebooks, your voice recorder, simpan elok because when it involves high profile matters, public lebih interested to know what's going on, what is apa yang telah berlaku. So yang melibatkan high profile ni we are more we have to be more alert so we have politicians yang former politicians yang dah pencen pun ada, the current government. So these high profile cases by politicians could be from the government of the day as well as the opposition. So adalah, I can't share you very much details, but we have high profiles politicians, sportsmen yang terlibat dalam sukan antarabangsa, and then also but we also do have businessmen yang who runs business also. Ada juga kes-kes yang nyaman lah.
So maybe kalau boleh sentuh sikit kalau benda ni tak PNC for the media Prima punya sites. So basically kalau macam some cases yang media Prima gagal. So ataupun maybe you all tak go through the process. Maybe ada certain luar mahkamah punya perbincangan. So ada tak happen in media Prima?
Ada. We have we look at the facts of the case. Dan juga yang paling penting evidence yang kita ada. Dan witness yang kita ada, saksi-saksi yang kita ada. So we will study the case. Kita akan tengok what are the chances of us winning. How strong our defences are. Sebab tu saya cakap penting nanti kena simpan notebook, voice recorder, tangkap layar WhatsApp, all this penting ya. So if our evidence are strong, defense kita kuat, we will proceed. We will fight ni. But kalau or otherwise, sometimes for other reasons, we will also take into account, consider for settlement jugalah. So there's we analyse the matter first.
Okay. So maybe some of the audience yang ada intention nak jadi journalist, professional journalist. So maybe I want to ask something daripada Puan Su juga. For this kind of issues, kalau bila ada reporter, journalist ada issues with the court case etc. and kebetulan kalah pula. So normally what will happen to this group of journalists bila dia kalah?
Okay. There's two types of suits ya. Satu suit apabila wartawan dinamakan sebagai defendant, ataupun suit yang hanya menyaman the company, tanpa nama jurnalis lah. Okay. So we will kalau selalu kita laksanakan our legal awareness session, we will always tell our journalists in the event of kalau kena saman, kita of course we will back up our journalist dulu. Okay. Provided that journalist harus bekerjasama. So maknanya when we call them out, kita ada surat tuntutan daripada Guam ataupun kena saman. So we will discuss with the journalist, and syarat dia simple saja, cooperate with us. So when you cooperate with us, they are on our side, we will of course defend on their behalf. Sebab apabila laporan yang dikeluarkan tu adalah semasa beliau adalah seorang employee of the company, so of course it is tanggungjawab syarikat lah untuk backup, untuk defend journalist. So kami pun berharap lah wartawan pun bekerjasama lah.
Of course lah.
I mean, we are on your side. We are on your side. Just help us help you. You know,
give all the evidence, give all the cooperation, anything that you have.
Buat apa yang kami pesan, you know, all the fact check, verification, buat semua tu, you know, we're good.
So actually dari segi training je, how frequent?
It depends because we have multiple platforms. Kita under Media Prima, kita ada print, kita ada TV, kita ada radio, kita ada outdoor, kita ada online website, semua tu kan. So kalau we all minimum is every quarter, ataupun as and when required. So as and when required, kalau tiba-tiba kata radio cakap, I think we need to do another session of talk on this, so let's do. So it can be more.
Alright. Thanks Puan Su. Okay, now we move to the 6 questions. Ada 10 soalan. So actually what are the potential remedies available to victim of defamation under Malaysian law ni, and how does legal system ensure fair compensation to this kind of group?
Victim kita kenali mereka sebagai plaintiff lah, sebagai plaintiff yang menyaman news media platform. Plaintiff will usually lah akan di-awardkan damages, ganti rugi, ganti rugi dalam bentuk wang, monetary lah, monetary compensation damages. But there will also be other types of remedies, iaitu seperti clarification atau apology. There's a few types lah.
So mostly plaintiff ni diminta apa? Most based on your experience.
Mostly minta monetary lah.
Monetary, okay.
Tapi ada juga yang plaintiff yang sebab dia adalah seorang personality yang popular,
Okay.
high profile, so they just want an apology.
Alright.
So in either in open court
Okay.
ataupun disiarkan di dalam media.
Okay.
For them, it's not about the money.
Mhm.
It's more about clearing his name or her
Reputation
name,
lah.
reputation. Yes.
Okay, alright, okay. So what type of defense available for the media practitioners in this kind of
Okay.
defamation suit?
So tadi plaintiff, so sekarang ni media practitioner as the defendant.
Defendants.
Okay, a few. There's
Okay.
a few that is available. Yang paling selalu yang kerap digunakan ialah justifikasi, yang bermaksud benda tu benar, betul-betul berlaku,
Okay.
benar, so you have to prove lah it's justified.
Alright.
Cakap it's justified, benda tu pun berlaku. So that's number one. The second one is qualified privilege. Qualified privilege bermaksud where the public has public has the right to know.
Okay.
Interest of the public, sebab melibatkan rakyat.
Okay.
Jadi kita ada tanggungjawab
Okay.
sebagai media untuk menyiarkan laporan
Share the
tu.
knowledge,
Yes,
yes.
apa yang telah berlaku, and
Okay.
the rakyat has the right to know. The public has
So
the right
we can
to know.
use that as well.
Yes,
okay.
qualified. Then di sini saya quote balik, by a person who has an interest or a duty, legal, social or moral, to publish the words to the persons to whom they were published.
Okay.
So ini adalah tanggungjawab media.
Okay.
Sebab people have the right to know.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then also the persons to whom the words were published had a corresponding interest or duty to receive them. Readers has the right to know.
Readers.
Okay, kita media practitioner kena bagi tahu legally and morally to let the readers know, buat di mana readers pun berhak untuk tahu what this one yang this is the third defense, ya. The fourth defense is absolute privilege. Absolute privilege ni agak menarik sebab absolute privilege ni membenarkan semua kata-kata palsu,
Okay.
ataupun tuhmahan, caci, maki, tetapi defend. Itu maknanya orang tu tak boleh saman.
Oh, macam mana tu?
Dia menarik.
Interesting.
Dia susah, tapi dia kalau dapat tu baguslah if you can use this absolute privilege. Absolute privilege ni ada beberapa, ya. Contoh sebagai jika wartawan membuat laporan persidangan di dalam parlimen.
Okay, alright. Okay.
Perbicaraan di dalam mahkamah. This is where walaupun benda tu tak betul, tapi kita quote benda tu disebut di dalam perbicaraan mahkamah ataupun di dalam parlimen. That is the absolute privilege.
Okay, alright.
So itu contoh absolute. I feel it's a bit difficult for this, tapi kalau ada buktinya, our lawyers will use that as a defense lah.
So mean true, because in parliament everyone can say anything. Dia
Betul.
tak ada limitation.
Tak ada filter-filter.
So, keluar saja baru you kena keep quiet.
Yes,
right?
betul.
So means if the reporter want to use any info given in that parliament or in any court, so dia can, how dia nak provekan benda? Adakah melalui recording?
Ya. Okay. Kalau dalam perbicaraan mahkamah, kita ada Hansard, iaitu dia punya
Transcript.
transkripnya. Every word verbatim tu diorang akan type, ya.
Okay.
Tapi sekarang dah teknologi dia tinggi, up sikit, kita recorded.
Okay.
Dia akan ada kamera for easy reference for the court, dan untuk pihak plaintiff dan defendant untuk guna tu. So kat situ tu, kalau apa-apa yang ditutur dalam
Alright.
tu you're covered.
Okay.
Walaupun tak betul, but you're
Okay.
covered sebab disebut
Alright.
di dalam mahkamah ataupun di dalam parlimen lah.
Okay, so it still can be used lah.
Betul.
Okay. Thanks, Puan Su. Okay, the next one, how actually this enforcement of defamation law contribute ataupun maintain healthy public discourse and protecting individual from false or damaging statements?
Okay. Dalam saman fitnah defamation law, our main akta utama ialah Defamation Act 1957. Jadi dalam tu adalah disebut apakah libel, apakah slander, cara untuk how to nak laksanakan ni. We always advise, kita always nasihatkan kita punya journalist to make sure when your perimeters tu dijagalah, to within that scope lah.
Okay.
Kalau keluar sikit daripada situ, risiko pun adalah.
Okay. So itu dalam konteks professional journalist Puan Su. Kalau dalam konteks public, how this defamation law boleh maintain harmony itu?
Okay. Public okay. I think kita kena berpada-pada lah. I know sometimes people are angry, bila dah marah tu semualah keluar kan.
Yes.
But you must always remember that it comes with apa yang you keluar, it comes with responsibility lah. So you have to manage, you must conduct yourself within that realm lah.
Yes. Okay, in other words, if you are nobody pun, you still have to be careful because
Betul.
someone can use anything that you update, anything that you share through social media as a evidence for them to win any court cases, etc. Okay, now we move to the second last questions. How can social media user protect themselves from being sued for defamation? Apa yang dia perlu buat?
Sertailah kursus kewartawanan.
Yes, because I notice our public, alright, our social media platform users, diorang punya kefahaman tentang perundangan ataupun undang-undang yang wujud yang regulate our social media activity tak jelas, macam diorang tak really exposed to that. And I saw one article from our minister Fahmi Fazil tentang plannya untuk menguar-uarkan ataupun untuk expose public towards certain laws yang guide diorang punya aktiviti.
Okay.
So selain pada berhati-hati, apa lagi social media user ni perlu buat Puan Su supaya dia tak disu?
I think the basic is ialah to make sure benda tu tepat apa yang kita nak upkan di dalam social media tu, benda tu tepat dan kita ada evidence. So kita tak boleh shock sendirilah. Basically you dah marah, lepas tu marah pun based on somebody else's statement. So entah betul entah tidak somebody else punya statement tu. Ni jadi bila kita upkan, itulah bahayanya. So always make sure benda tu betul. Lepas tu dan you have evidence to back you up. Itu saja. I mean banyak je. I think when we read social media, when we tengok social media kan, ada yang buat statement, okay, for example trendy sekarang review, suka buat review kan. Review. Saya pernah dulu tengok satu social media ni, dia beli nasi ayam tu ada seketul kalau merah sikit, you know. So ni apa ni, you know, claim kata halal tapi apa ni. So you check dulu. Mungkin tu daging masak merah.
Yes, before you review
Yes,
lah.
you review. Apa ni letak benda haram. You have to fact check dulu. Sebab kalau tak tepat, kalau
Yes.
tak betul, owner tu of course will come
Boleh.
after us. So always make sure you've done your research, you've done your homework, you ada evidence. InsyaAllah.
Yes, banyak review punya case sekarang ni, banyak
Yes.
issues. I think kalau macam positive review orang tak pick up sangat, but when come to negative review tu sangat
betul.
cepat orang akan pick up, and of course bila kita tak check, automatically akan tarnish the reputation of the food providers, etc. So be careful, because this kind of defamation act ni memang also totally apply to ours as a public.
Individuals
so,
juga.
Cuma ramai yang tak aware lagi on this.
Betul.
Okay, now we move to the last questions. Okay, what are some of the best practice yang Puan Su maybe can advise us, or especially for the media practitioners, to manage crisis communication within legal boundaries?
Okay. What we always do is year in year out. Our media ni kita akan run awareness sessions. Untuk always remind. Bila you tulis your laporan, make sure betul, make sure tepat, make sure seimbang, make sure ada evidence untuk sokong. We always remind. Year in, year out, itu je yang kita perlu ingat. This is the checklist lah yang kita akan buat untuk diorang. Especially kalau betul, like Dr. Lila cakap, positive story tu okay je. Tapi kalau kena negative story tu, you have to bear the consequences lah. Walaupun betul, benda tu negatif, walaupun betul, make sure you have your evidence, your your notes, your recorder, voice recorder and all that. I will always say that, because berbalik sepuluh pada communication, lack or no communication will expose us dalam risiko ni lah. So always share your content secara betul, secara berhemat. Make sure semua fakta adalah betul, tepat. Ada documents atau apa untuk back you up in the event of kalau ada orang tak puas hati lah dengan statement yang you buat tu. And of course, make sure it's balanced lah. Your review ataupun your news report tu balance. Sebagai contoh, you melaporkan pasal wrongdoing of Mr. B or Miss B, make sure you cover dia punya story juga. You try to reach out to him or to her. Betul ke dia ni cakap awak seperti itu, seperti ini? Boleh saya dapatkan ulasan anda? Can I get your comments? So, kalau orang tu kata no comments, kita bertulislah, saya dah try contact dia, tapi dia tak nak comment. Cakap je, dia tak nak komen, dia enggan mengulas. Tapi kalau dia memberi comments, then important that kita also publish. Kita juga tulis apa yang dia dah komen tu. Barulah dipanggil sebagai laporan yang seimbang. So both side of story. So maknanya I dah cover your story, you tak boleh sama I. Sebab I dah dapat you punya comments. So that is what we always tell them. This is how to manage crisis lah. Kalau kena saman, tak, I ada contact you. So kita dah balance kat situ kan. And also I always tell everybody, dalam saman sivil ni ada 6 tahun. So kalau you siarkan tahun ni, dia ada 6 tahun untuk come after you, to sue you. So always keep your documents, your recorder. Zaman sekarang ni canggih macam-macam. You can screen cap tu simpan, masuk ke Google Drive ke apa ke, save all that. So that is how you manage all this potensi krisis dalam penyiaran.
Alright, I have one question, Puan Su. I tak tahulah this is mitos ke atau apa. Just nak get the confirmation from the expert. Because I heard some of the journalists pernah cakap, in order for them to avoid any court cases, so dia punya headline tu they always put question mark. So that one is
Betul.
very oh, that one betul.
Salah satu cara lah. It's called click and bait.
Oh, click.
Disensasikan tajuk tu.
Okay.
Betul ke XYZ bernikah lagi? For example, tanda soal.
Okay.
It is a style or a strategy untuk menarik lah.
Yes.
Lepas tu bila menarik minat orang baca, kalaulah kes tu dibawa ke mahkamah, kita akan gunakan tanda soal.
Okay.
Tu sebagai our defense lah. Cakap,
Alright.
saya itu bukan kenyataan, itu adalah soalan.
Okay.
So
Okay.
bukannya saya kata dia nikah lagi, tapi
Alright.
saya hanya tanya, betul ke Miss A, Mr. X bernikah lagi?
Okay.
So boleh je lah. It's a style,
Okay.
cara-cara.
Tapi dia safe lah digunakan.
Seperti saya kata, safe boleh je, tetapi orang tu tetap boleh saman juga.
Okay.
So no matter how true or how accurate, terpulang pada tuan badan lah. Dia kata walaupun is tanda soal, benda tu tak betul, saya nak saman juga. So it won't dia contoh dia walaupun ada tanda soal ataupun how style kita guna perkataan seperti disyaki, ataupun dipercayai, walaupun kita guna terma-terma seperti itu, it may help to a certain extent.
Alright.
But one can still sue us. Sebab susah bila kita pergi court, dia cakap, alah, guna perkataan tu pun bila orang baca, orang dah tahu, orang dah tuduh saya sebegitu. Walaupun guna perkataan seperti dipercayai, disyaki, tanda soal, things like that. Mungkin niat tu kita untuk tone down the statement tu, tapi it won't stop them to sue the media.
So it depends to how the legal people back up the case lah, based on the evidence simpan by
kita
this
akan
group.
No doubt when we go to court, our lawyers will say itu bukan kenyataan, kita orang tanya je sebab tu ada tanda soal. Ataupun kita look, we use the word allegedly, suspected. Itu we can use those words, but it will never stop someone to proceed a legal action against us.
Alright, they still can find the loophole everywhere.
Betul.
Okay, thanks Puan Su. We managed to complete all the 10 questions. So we have question here. Soalan pertama, ada 2 soalan.
Okay.
First question, di platform news digital, terutamanya di media sosial, adakah news atau status yang dipaparkan seperti berita sampah atau tidak penting untuk dijadikan berita di platform? Kekhawatiran ia mengundang negative review dan berpotensi harming individu tertentu. Mungkin tidak berlaku di platform media Prima, tetapi ia ada berlaku di platform lain. Apa pandangan Puan?
Okay. Saya rasa berita sampah, we go back, yang kita panggil tu, we call it as whether it's newsworthy ke tak. Ada nilai ke news ni kan? So bila tak ada nilai, akan dicop sebagai berita sampah. Okay. So it depends. Kita, audience kita, pembaca kita ramai. Ada yang minat tabloid type of news, ada yang minat sukan. So bila dianggap sebagai berita sampah tu, I believe it's subjective. Jadi it depends atas penerimaan pembaca
Audience,
tu. Pembaca, yes. So mungkin pepatah English ada sebut one man's trash is another man's treasure. Audience ni rasa gosip entertainment ni best. Tapi bila orang yang lebih serius, yang lebih fokus kepada perniagaan, ini semua berita sampah. Saya tak nak tahulah artis ni kahwin dua ke ataupun all this sensational story. So it really depends on the audience.
Okay, so it depends how we evaluate the meaning behind that news. Okay. Second questions here. Pernahkah menerima kes saman atau amaran berkenaan berita yang menyebabkan gangguan atau kesihatan mental individu tertentu?
Oh, so far tak ada. Tak ada, but I believe mungkin ada pada platform lain, but that is also can be a cause of action lah. Boleh. Sebagai contoh, bila baca news tu dia dah terganggu. So not in our platform, but it may happen lah.
So last question dari saya, ada tak reporter yang memang desaman tu memang address to them individually?
Ada. It depends on how the plaintiffs, peguam plaintiff untuk menasihat. Kadang-kadang semua disaman. Daripada wartawan kepada editor kepada CEO ke, so semua whack all. Ada je. So ada juga tidak menamakan. So it can be both ways.
Okay, for those reporters yang memang dapat saman yang address to them individually, so based on Puan Su punya experience, how this reporter react to that kind of ni?
Saya berpengalaman dulu, long time ago, bila wartawan tu dipanggil ya, kami ni, we always tell our journalists, look, we are on your side. Okay. Bukan kami yang saman you, okay, bukan kami yang hantar surat, but we are here to help you out. So ada yang datang bila dipanggil lah untuk, because we need to interview them. So what happened, macam mana you dapat you punya news kan, how do you come up with the stories. So number satu, first we have to let them know we are on your side, but we need to know apakah tindakan yang diambil sebelum mengeluarkan laporan tu. Okay. Ada yang hostile, macam tak nak illegal call, tak mau. So but that's not the way, because you must understand our function di situ adalah untuk defend the case. So to defend this case, we need you to help us out. Help us help you, especially case yang mereka dinamakan jugalah sebagai defendant. Help us to help you. So itu paling penting. So that is how we are going to build our defense dalam saman tu lah.
Alright, okay. Before we close, ada satu statement dalam YouTube. It's stated here, the headlines don't matter whether they were put in questions or not, but the content of the publication as a whole matters to determine whether the impugned publication is defamatory or not. So what do you think?
Betul. Okay. So you victim ni, plaintiff ni, dia tak boleh saman hanya berdasarkan on the title. You cannot just rely on the title. You know, even if you go to court, the judge will look at the title as well as the content. Yeah. It will not be taken in isolation. So when you go to court, you present your case. Saya telah dimalukan. Tengok tajuk dia. Kita bagilah selain daripada contoh nikah lain kan. Contoh
produk kosmetik. What else?
Betul ke produk XYZ confirm boleh memutihkan kulit? Tanda soal. Okay. So that is where you have to tell everybody that it doesn't stop there. You have to read the content. So this is a good example. Betul ke produk XYZ dapat confirm dapat putihkan kulit? when you read the content tu akan elaborate what is in the title.
Okay.
So sebagai contoh, selain memakan suplemen ni, you pun kenalah banyak minum air.
Okay.
So you have to read as a whole.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Bukan berdasarkan hanya headline, ada tanda soal, tiada tanda soal.
itu hanya part of.
Yes. It's always like nak pancing je lah, nak memancing. So bila memancing tu dah dapat, bila orang dah baca, tajuk dia menarik ni. Lepas tu kita baca content tu.
Alright.
So it is important equally that content tu pun secara menyeluruh. The title is mungkin a sum up, tapi content tu secara menyeluruh yang akan elaborate the tajuk tu.
Okay.
Sangat-sangat penting, because if you go to court, the court will not just look at your headline with a question mark, without question mark. The court will also take into account the entire story.
Yes.
The content.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. I think that's all from Puan Suhaida Ahmad. Thank you very much, Puan Suhaida, because willing to share and willing to join our coffee talk today. So with that, thank you very much to the audience, to the online viewers, for joining our coffee talk this morning. So till we meet again, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum. Bye.